Hey, let's go ahead and do Jupiter and Gemini. I went ahead and pulled some cards. These cards are linked to my email blast that I send out to all my subscribers on my blog. So if you guys would like to be signed up for that, it's under thefootstepstopeace.com. Sign up there and you guys will have a better understanding. I do pick a card readings every week. So here we go. The first card we got out, card number 1, was Journey. And I feel like for a lot of you, you've been resting long enough wherever you've been. And I feel like you've had enough time to, really kind of ground out, really rejuvenate even like your energy. So I am getting with this journey for some of you. You guys are packing up and you are moving. You're moving on, you're moving places, you're moving jobs, you're moving homes, you're moving you're just moving. For some of you, you're moving on from one career and you're starting another, okay? So I feel like a choice has been made with the number 2 there. 2s are all about choices. And it's funny because the center reading, we do have the second card, card number 2 that came out, says the golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. Okay? So what this card talks about is it's like getting excited. Gemini is like the Peter Pan, right? It's all about like getting curious about what life has to offer. And it's like, I almost feel like she's like throwing something away. She's just like, I'm throwing this away. I don't need this anymore. It's time for me to go out. It's time for me to do something. And there's this awesome opportunities. Look at that door that's opening, okay? I feel like doors are opening, but you need to decide whether or not you're going to walk in. You have a rare gift of your own, or you're going to learn those when you get to your next destination. Okay? So this is basically, I feel like this part is like a wild card. And the reason why I say that is because you know that this journey is available to you. It's like, but which door are you going to walk through? I almost feel like for a lot of you, you have choices. You can either stay where you are, you could go this way, you could go this way. I almost get like, whenever I think of Gemini, I always feel like it's always the butterfly to me. I always see like a butterfly, right? And, butterflies go from flower to flower. It's like, oh, I want to try this one. And, ooh, I want to try the nectar of this one. So, again, I do feel like, wherever you go, I feel like your gifts are what is needed. Now, card number 3 that we got out for the Jupiter and Gemini, May 28th through July 3rd reading, for those of you who are on the email list. Ace of Autumn, a windfall of money, advice, or assistance from others, a very successful project, a happy change in your career. So for a lot of you, again, that is a wild card. And maybe that wild card is based off of the fact that, like, for some of you, this is about you moving on away from a relationship. For others of you, this is about starting a new business. For others of you, this is about learning something new. Jupiter and Gemini, I will tell you, is all signs will be affected, just FYI. Gemini trines Libra and Aquarius, but it also squares the mutable signs, which is Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So I do feel like it's going to really put like some emphasis on those signs, sun, moon, or rising, that you're going to want to learn something new. It's time for you to, aces are about opportunities, okay? And you look at this little man here, this little boy, and he's like sitting on that coin, and he's like, well, what do I want to invest this in? So for some of you, you could be going back to school, you could be learning, and I feel like that's what this inner child is all about. Okay, and so I do see for some of you, your leadership skills are also going to be needed at this time. And I do feel like you're going to have unexpected supporters of your cause. So it's like where the student now becomes the teacher. Jupiter is also the guru. So you could come into alignment with multiple different types of teachers depending on what it is that you want to learn. And I feel like for some of you, it's like these aha moments of like, oh shoot, like that looks really interesting. I'd really like to, kind of delve into that topic. So very important that you do. This is about creativity. This is about willingness to go on the journey. I do feel like for a lot of you, you've had enough time to sit back and meditate and contemplate. And now there's these cycles that are ending for you at this time. Jupiter enters into Gemini. It will have already done that by the time I put out this video for my email subscribers. I'm putting it out on May 28th, but Jupiter went into Gemini on the 25th, okay? And so this is going to last all the way until June 9th of 2025. So do not waste Jupiter energy. It's like the one thing I will say is that Jupiter is at fall in Gemini, which when we say that it's at fall, it's not a sign that Jupiter likes to be in. Because with Gemini, it's all up in the air because we do have that butterfly effect, the constantly, well, what about this? And what about this? So it's like the whole picture is not fully there, but the best thing that you can do is learn. It's going to be like a lot of chatty Cathy. Be careful of gossip energy because gossip, talking about other people and what other people are doing and how other people are doing it. Try to stay away from the water cooler gossip because you will reap what you sow, okay? There will be karma. So make sure that, even if you got I think for a lot of you, you do have a lot of different opportunities. You can go that way, you can go that way, you can go that way, and you can go that way, right? So I do feel like you need to spend more time on, less time around the water cooler, more time on learning and schooling and coming up with new ideas and ways of, and new resources as well. Now, for a lot of you with Jupiter and Gemini, this could also have to do with your online profile because Gemini does rule that the World Wide Web. This is about writing. Some of you guys could be deciding to write a new book. Okay, that could be something that you are thinking about doing and about your journey in this lifetime. Okay. So that would also be something that would be very, you could find that you end up with a lot more subscribers, a lot more followers. Like I said earlier, you will have supporters of your cause. More people who are going to be supportive of what you do and what you bring to the table. I feel like for a lot of you, you felt like a lone wolf. You felt like you had to do everything alone. And I almost feel like your tribe is coming near. Like I see all these other people who are like-minded. So I do feel with Jupiter and Gemini, you will find a lot more like-minded individuals and people who are supportive, people who want to also invest in what you're doing, okay? In whatever this is. Because again, I see these books here, okay? I see all these books. So I do see for some of you, maybe you go back to school or you take an online course. Or maybe for others of you, you are going to be teaching these courses. Maybe you could be sought after for your information and knowledge. And for a lot of you, you could end up, teaching all of what you're doing. And don't say, never say never. Again, it's a wild card. Anything can happen. All in all, I really like this energy for you guys. I do feel like Jupiter in Gemini is going to be a very interesting time, of course. I do feel like we will also come up with, new ways of networking, new social media outlets so that you can get your business out there and your platform. They are going to be, certain ones who have been doing bad things. Karma does come back around, and Jupiter and Gemini will actually help with that because Jupiter in Gemini is going to expose all the information, everything that's been going on. And so you're not going to be able to hide. You're going to see lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. So if there has been, doctors who were working underhandedly or, which obviously we all know that's the case, you're going to have a lot more whistleblowers. You're going to have a lot more. Remember when I said gossip? This is also about free speech, too. So there's going to be a big emphasis on free speech. It's going to be a huge emphasis on everyone who has been censored. Also, they could come up with some type of compensation for everyone who has ever been censored. Okay? And also, because of that censorship, There could be lawsuits because it actually kept people from, being able to make a sound and just decision on their behalf because they only had half the information, and we all know what the fuck I'm talking about, okay? So let's just, let's just call it for what it is, all right? So that is one thing that can also come up. Jupiter in Gemini also is going to be about, like, this will definitely blast everybody's shadow side. So also what I will say is if you have any type of mental health issues, it will also expand on those. So it will be very important for the collective to work on that. Maybe speak with I will say that with Jupiter and Gemini, you're going to see like a lot of astrologers, a lot of spiritual gurus, healers. There will be a rise of all of that. It won't be just therapists and counselors anymore. We have more mainstream astrology, psychics, tarot, holistic homeopathic energies now, where people are not just going to go to these psychiatrists and pay, that psychiatrist or counselor's car payments and house payments unless they're giving them the Carfax. Like, they want to know. Like, they don't want to, people don't want to sit around and talk about, well, I don't know. How do you feel about that? I think after the last few years, people need a lot more than just the surface level conversations. So I'm going to say, like, we do have also these golden children. Anybody born during the Jupiter and Gemini, I want to say be mindful. Also be mindful about what we're teaching our children at this time as well with Jupiter and Gemini. And be tender with these children and be easy with the way that you communicate with them, okay? Because I do feel like kids are a factor in all of this. And I do feel like for some of you, your children are also going to be going out into this world. So for some of them, they could be traveling away from home as well. For others of you, children might be of emphasis, because Jupiter and Gemini is the twins. So if you don't want to get pregnant, wrap it up. You might see another, like, huge, a lot of people having twins or triplets, okay, because we do have that Gemini aspect. And a lot of the time, like, my oldest is a Gemini. In fact, the day I'm putting out this video, May 28th, happy birthday to my daughter, Sierra. She's going to be 28 on her 28th birthday. So this is Sierra's golden birthday. And look at the golden children here. So no matter what, she's still my baby. And I love her so much. And she's off on her journey doing her own thing at this time. And I just have to trust and believe that everything is going to work out on her behalf as well. So happy golden birthday, baby girl. And if all of you guys could wish my daughter Sierra happy birthday, that would be absolutely amazing. And just put out positive energy for her and loving and healing and, her own personal new year. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to leave that here. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in a personal reading, all my information's in the description box down below. You guys, if you want to sign up for my newsletter on my email, I would definitely suggest going over there and getting that done. If for some reason there's a problem with that link, please reach out to me. Send me an email with all your information, and I will put you in the email list myself so that you guys are getting access to this type of content every week. So I do put out email blasts every Tuesday and Thursday. And I hope you guys really like these. If you do, let me know, and I will continue doing what I'm doing here. Anyway, you guys, thank you again. I love you all so much. Have a beautiful Jupiter in Gemini. Take care.